Your life can change with just one small decision. But do you have the courage to embrace that change when a second chance comes knocking at your door? This is the story of an 80-year-old man who has lived through countless highs and lows in life. From failures, pain, and moments of solitude, he has survived it all. And now, he is enjoying the life he always wanted. Imagine a day when you face a choice you can't turn back from. Would you dare to move forward, even without knowing the outcome? Let's explore the story of strength, growth, and second chances that few dare to seize. Don't miss these invaluable lessons. They could change how you view your own life. Keep watching to learn more. I have lived for 80 years, not a small number. Looking back, I've come to realize one thing: we are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. The past can bring beautiful memories, but it can also carry pain, loss, or mistakes we regret. However, the key is not to let it hold us back, because life waits for no one. I was once a young, ambitious man, but also filled with fear. There were moments when I felt trapped, unable to move forward because of the fear of failure. But then I realized, what happened in the past does not need to shadow me forever. The past shapes us, but it is the way we face it and overcome it that truly defines us. One day, your life will flash before your eyes like a movie. Make sure it's worth watching. I remember a major failure in my career. It was in my early 30s when I lost everything in a failed business venture. At that time, I thought I had no chance to rise again. But instead of wallowing in regret, I decided to start over. I went back to school, explored new paths, and ultimately rebuilt my career from the smallest steps. If I had let the past imprison me, I wouldn't be able to live today with the pride I feel. Think of famous examples. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, but he didn't let those years behind bars turn him into a prisoner of hatred or pain. Instead, he turned those experiences into strength, into motivation to create change for an entire nation. Life is short, and no one knows when it will be the last time we look back. So don't let the past become a burden. Instead, live so that every moment is worth it. Make your life story a movie you'll be proud to watch again, filled with success, joy, and lessons learned from failure. True strength is learning to let go. At 80, I've come to realize that real strength doesn't lie in trying to hold on to others, but in learning to let them go. There are relationships in life, no matter how hard we try, that we simply can't hold on to. But that's not failure, that's growth. Don't beg others to choose you, because if they truly value you, they will stay willingly. Imagine if a door refuses to open, you can bang on it as hard as you want, but all you'll get is pain. Letting go is not about giving up hope. It's about giving yourself the chance to walk through another door that may hold the happiness and peace you truly deserve. I once had a very close friend. We shared almost everything, from joy to hardship, but eventually I realized that his care for me only existed as long as I had something to offer. When I needed help, he always had an excuse not to help. I had to make the painful decision to end that relationship. At the time, I felt empty, but over time, I realized it was the right thing to do. In life, kindness is precious, but it's not infinite. You can be generous, but you also need to set boundaries. Not everyone deserves your generosity. Some people only care about you as long as you have something to give, and they'll leave when there's nothing left to exploit. This reminds me of Oprah Winfrey's story, a woman who rose from poverty to become one of the most influential figures in the world. She shared that when she became famous, she realized that many people around her didn't truly care about her, but were there to benefit from her success. Oprah learned to set boundaries and protect herself from toxic relationships. The lesson here is, be kind, but also be smart. Don't let your kindness be exploited. True strength lies in knowing when to let go and when to hold on. Remember, those who truly value you will stay, even when you have nothing left to give. At 80, I've seen and made countless decisions, some right, some wrong. But one thing I've learned is this: sometimes you'll never be 100% sure about a choice. What's important is making a decision, because not acting is sometimes worse than making a mistake and fixing it later. I remember a crucial decision I had to make when I was younger. I quit a stable job to pursue a riskier path. At the time, I wasn't sure if I was making the right choice, but if I hadn't tried, I would never have known the outcome. And truly, failure is not the scariest thing. It's living with the regret of never having tried. With every decision, no matter the result, I learned valuable lessons that made me stronger. Look at the famous people you admire. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He was once fired from the company he founded, but instead of feeling defeated and giving up, he returned and turned Apple into one of the most powerful tech empires in the world. If he hadn't dared to make that decision, the world might never have seen life-changing products like the iPhone or MacBook. The confidence to make decisions, even when risky, was the key that helped him overcome challenges. Besides making decisions, an equally important lesson is always respecting others' feelings. Never take lightly what others share with you, because you never know how much courage it took for them to say it. A kind word of comfort, or simply listening, can make a huge difference in someone's life. I once had a friend who shared deep feelings with me. At that time, I didn't fully understand what he was going through and gave him a casual response. Later, I realized that what he said wasn't just idle chatter but a cry for help. Sometime later, I heard that he was struggling with serious mental health issues. That was one of the moments I promised myself to always respect others' emotions and never take for granted when they open up to me. Finally, the lesson I want to share is, don't fear being wrong, don't fear failure. Life will always push you to tough crossroads, but what matters is which path you choose and how you're willing to correct it when necessary. Never forget, when others open their hearts to you, it's an act of courage, and you should treat it with the respect it deserves. Be yourself, and embrace everything life brings. I've learned that in life, being yourself is the most important thing. Don't try to be someone else just to meet the expectations of others. Let people see the real you, imperfect, quirky, strange, yet beautiful and magical. These are the things that make life beautiful. Don't fear your flaws or your uniqueness, because it is these quirks that make you special and worth cherishing. When I was younger, I was often concerned about what others thought of me. I tried to change to fit the model society set for me. But as I grew older, I realized that no one can live a meaningful life by always chasing perfection and not truly being themselves. Each of us has our own imperfections, those unique traits that set us apart, and that's the unique beauty that only you possess. Life won't always go smoothly, but how you respond to it is what truly matters. As the saying goes, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. I remember a major failure I experienced at work. If I had only focused on the pain and disappointment, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. But I chose to look at it more optimistically. Instead of seeing it as failure, I saw it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And it was those positive decisions and flexible responses to hardship that helped me overcome every challenge in life. I also remember trying a bad apple once. At that moment, I felt truly disappointed. But then, when I tasted a good apple, I truly appreciated how wonderful it was. If I'd never experienced the bad ones, I would never have truly valued the good ones. Life's challenges are those bad apples that help you appreciate the good apples when they come along. Life is not always easy, but it is in those difficult moments that we truly understand the value of peace and happiness. Don't be afraid of imperfection, and don't hide from the strangeness of your own being. Live in a way that your life becomes a beautiful story, one that, even if it stumbles at times, is always genuine and full of meaning. Balance kindness and wisdom. One of the most important lessons I've learned in life is never to let kindness overshadow wisdom, and likewise, never let wisdom make you forget kindness. Both are essential, but you must learn to balance them. I've met many people throughout my life, some who were so kind-hearted that they forgot sometimes. Kindness can be exploited. They always tried to help others, to the point that they forgot to take care of themselves. Kindness is precious, but if you don't know how to protect yourself, you might find yourself trapped in situations you can't escape from. Don't let your kindness be taken advantage of, and never let wisdom make you cold and lacking in empathy. You've probably heard the story of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's greatest presidents. He was deeply compassionate and always concerned with the well-being of others, Yet he was also very wise in making crucial decisions. Lincoln faced incredibly difficult circumstances during the Civil War, but he never let either kindness or wisdom be the sole determining factor. Instead, he always sought to reconcile both elements to create a unified America. One thing I've learned from life is that a person's worth is not measured by what they own or the successes they achieve, but by how they face adversity. Resilience in the face of hardship is the true measure of a person. When I was younger, I also went through times that seemed insurmountable. There were moments when I wanted to give up, but it was perseverance and mental strength that helped me stand firm. When life tests you, that's when you realize your capacity to endure and your own courage. Just like in famous films, the greatest characters are often not those who never face hardships, but those who know how to overcome adversity to find the light again. In the film The Pursuit of Happiness starring Will Smith, the protagonist is a man who faces ups and downs but refuses to give up. It was his ability to endure and persist through hardships that ultimately led him to success. Finally, I want to say that life is not always easy. At times, you'll face hard challenges, but it's during those times that you'll see your true strength. Don't forget that both kindness and wisdom are necessary, but more important than anything is how you stand firm in times of trial. It is resilience in adversity that will measure your true worth. One important lesson I've learned through the years is that your life will change when you realize that no one cares about you more than you do. This isn't a cold piece of advice, but a truth I've learned through my own experiences. When you understand that you are the only one who can create change in your life, you'll start taking care of yourself, loving yourself, and from there, your life will gradually improve. Love and care are vital in any relationship. However, I've realized that love alone is not enough to sustain a long-lasting and happy relationship. Emotions can change over time, but maintaining a true connection between two people relies on communication and the ability to understand one another. We all have moments where conflicts are inevitable, but how you face and resolve those conflicts is what truly matters. I've witnessed beautiful relationships that gradually faded away due to a lack of communication. One notable example is the story of a close friend. He and his wife were deeply in love, but things started to fall apart when they could no longer talk openly about the little problems in life. Though they still loved each other, misunderstandings and silence slowly became the enemy in their relationship. In the end, after an honest and open conversation, they regained their connection. From that, I learned that no matter how much you love someone, openness and facing difficult conversations are the keys to maintaining a lasting relationship. In the years of my life, I've also learned that love cannot be preserved without care and effort from both sides. Both people must build the relationship based on understanding and respect, not just the romantic emotions of the beginning. When you dare to face the difficult things, the tense conversations, you'll understand more about each other and yourself. And sometimes those very conversations make the relationship stronger than ever before. Remember, life and relationships only truly improve when you realize that you are the only one who can change and master your own life. And if you want a long-lasting relationship, love alone is not enough. What's important is that both people are open and unafraid to face difficult conversations. Life doesn't always give us many second chances. If you are fortunate enough to get a new opportunity, don't let it slip away. These rare opportunities can change everything, and you must seize them, not let fear or doubt make you miss out. Sometimes, a second chance is a gift that life gives you to redo what was lost or to fix past mistakes. I remember one of the biggest failures of my life. Some time ago, I passed up a career opportunity one had waited for my whole life. Back then, I thought I wasn't capable enough, or maybe that job wasn't meant for me. I closed the door on that opportunity and quietly continued with my life. For the years that followed, I couldn't stop blaming myself. I saw friends and colleagues move forward and achieve the success I had missed out on. It felt like I had lost an important part of my life. But surprisingly, years later, I was given a similar opportunity. A job with almost the same role as the one I had passed up. This time, I wasn't going to let fear or doubt take over. I realized this was the second chance life had given me, and I couldn't let it slip away again. I decided to seize that opportunity, and the decisions I made afterward led me to unimaginable success. Although I had failed before, I now understand that it was only through that second chance that I realized the value of not giving up. Looking back, I realized that failure is not the end. In fact, those failures were merely stepping stones that helped me grow and prepare for bigger opportunities later on. Failure taught me that opportunities don't always come twice, but if you grab them, you'll see life change in ways you couldn't have imagined. At the same time, I also learned that loneliness is not always a bad thing. In fact, sometimes the ability to enjoy being alone is a sign of inner strength and the ability to think independently. When you're not afraid of solitude, you have more time to reflect on yourself and the important things in life. In those quiet moments, you can find your own path without being influenced by others' opinions. I once spent a long period living alone and enjoying those quiet moments. At first, I felt lonely, but gradually, I realized this was a time for personal growth, to seek deeper values in life. Those moments gave me the chance to understand myself more and develop skills I hadn't noticed when always surrounded by others. It was the solitude that helped me learn how to be independent and appreciate the simplicity and peace of life. There's a quote I deeply resonate with. A person who enjoys being alone can cherish the quiet moments to understand and appreciate the simplicity of life. When you're not afraid of loneliness, you'll learn to value those moments when it's just you and yourself. This helps you grow stronger, more resilient, and more self-reliant in every decision you make. I want to share with you something. Don't be afraid of loneliness. Don't let it make you feel weak. In fact, sometimes solitude is an opportunity to find yourself, to discover things you never noticed before. And if you're lucky enough to have a second chance, don't hesitate to take it, because it's a precious opportunity to change and grow. There is one more thing I have always kept in mind and really want to share with you. Your focus will determine your reality. It may sound simple, but in reality, it is incredibly profound. When you constantly focus on pain, on wounds, you get trapped in negativity and suffering. That feeling will haunt you like a shadow, making it almost impossible to escape. But if you choose to look at the lessons life brings from those difficulties, you will grow and mature. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn, rather than just seeing sadness and loss. I once spent a period of time focusing only on the unlucky events that happened to me. Failures and things that didn't go as planned made me feel stuck in the dark. But then I realized, if I kept living in that sorrow, I would never escape from it. Every time I shifted my focus to the lessons I learned from those trials, life slowly began to brighten. And I understood that only when you change your perspective can you change your reality. Sometimes in life, we have to decide to distance ourselves from some people, not because we no longer care about them, but because they no longer care about us. It's a painful decision, but it is necessary to protect ourselves. Self-respect is an essential part of the journey of growth. We cannot continue to stay around people who don't respect us or appreciate what we bring. They may not see our worth, but what matters is that we understand our own value. I remember a time when I had to part ways with a close friend, someone I had invested so much affection and time in. But gradually, I realized that the friendship was no longer healthy. That friend no longer treated me the way they used to, and it seemed like I was just a minor part of their life. At first, I found it incredibly difficult, but later, I understood that self-respect was more important than any relationship. Parting ways wasn't because I didn't care, but because I needed to respect myself. So, one valuable lesson I always carry with me is, accept yourself, love yourself, and keep moving forward. You cannot love others if you do not love yourself first. And only when you accept yourself with all your flaws and mistakes can you truly live a free and happy life. Don't let failures or wounds make you lose yourself. Always remember that you are the only one who can decide your path. And no matter what life brings, keep moving forward, because every step, no matter how small, brings an opportunity for you to grow and become a better version of yourself. Life is not always easy, but it is through challenges and hardships that we truly grow and discover our hidden strength. The lessons from this 80-year-old man will open your eyes to a new perspective on strength, determination, and how we face opportunities in life. If you feel these words have touched your heart, don't hesitate to act today. Change begins with you. Continue to follow more inspiring videos on this channel to discover more stories of resilience, decisiveness, and the journey of rediscovering yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any valuable life lessons. It's time to walk and take action now.